All right. PKA episode 380 with our guest Tucker. Kyle?
Anyway, we've got Tucker back
Yeah,
again.
fucking
I'm sure
back
life's
again.
You sound excited.
Yeah.
I know, it's just a chore. What is this, like the 9th time I've been here?
Tucker,
No, it's always good.
I
Thank you for having
heard
me.
that on a live stream, they were talking
God.
about Taylor's wild success on Tinder, which has impressed all of us. And
Yes.
you said that that Taylor is a Midwestern treasure and you're an LA3.
Yes.
How's that going?
I'm still in LA3. I mean, like, I firmly believe that there are tiers based on where you live, right? Like, if you're in Montana and you're not diabetic, like, you've got the world as your oyster. But
You're at least a 6.
yeah, but I was walking down the street. I just came back from lunch. I was walking down the street, and the homeless people look better than me. And it's just like, that's the competition I'm dealing with.
You should
So
go
I'm
to
still in
West
LA3.
Virginia. Be like all 32, baby. All 32.
Look, I have cousins, and I don't even see them. So you, Mary Beth, you could be mine. You could be mine. Like, the thought
Really?
of having to, like, console somebody, be like, yes, I know Tommy is not a good PA or TA, and it's, like, really grading your homework harshly, but, like, I got rear-ended by an uninsured driver. I have real things to deal with. Like, that's the level of complaint that I need. I need you to be like, I'm getting reamed in state taxes, not
Oh,
like
come on.
Yeah,
no.
I finished school when I was
Getting
31.
reamed.
Tucker would never date me.
The ideal girl has these problems. She's like, yeah, algebra 1 is really tough. You know, I'm having a hard time.
Wait.
Multiplying
When
fractions.
did you learn algebra 1? That was like middle school, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. That's the ideal girl. Now you're following along. I've been to like 15 proms now. What I mean, I'm the king of the castle, baby.
That is
Like,
That's very
ridiculous.
true, though.
oh, come on. You know, I just bought the tux. I mean, I was losing money renting the thing, right?
Absolutely.
He's-
You got to be ready
He's
for
got
May.
you've got your stamp pass.
By the way,
This is your 10th prom, sir. Free parking. Yeah.
They're stamping that thing. By the way, this is an Anthony Cumia joke. I have not been to a dozen proms. Like
Look
with
at
a bit of,
the one of him in this suit. Like, the size of that suit, it looks like he's 8%
about to
through
say-
being shot with a shrink ray.
you would
Look how
think,
long it is.
you would
It's
think
like
he'd
down
have
to
a suit
here.
that fits.
You know
You
what
know,
else
I'm
is
not
fucked
paying.
up? It's still in my head. The chauffeur from that limo was good looking, right? And my mom is like, oh, look at the chauffeur. He's going to steal one of your dates. And it's like, you're supposed
Mom!
to think highly of me. You know, like, thanks.
Wow, she's been tearing you
she-
down for a generation.
She had, you know what? She had lust in her heart, and she committed adultery in her heart with that limo driver. That's a sin.
Those are the rules.
That's one of the 10 commandments.
Taylor,
Hey,
can
could you
I
just
ask
give me
you,
Drake's number?
how do you flex, right? Like, if you're talking to a girl on Tinder or something and you want her to know that you're quite the prize, what's your flex move?
Oh, I just
Tells a joke.
try and be funny, and then make sure that the picture that's featured on, my page of Tinder is literally me in a tank top, showing off.
You
my
literally
body.
flex.
No, you don't.
Did she use the M word?
No. Actually, I wonder.
Probably said dwarf.
I'm gonna have to look. But yeah,
Little
I
person.
honestly I don't know if that's the correct. What's the piece? There's so many PC
I
things
think
now.
little
I don't know.
person is the correct.
Yeah. Acceptable
Dwarf is kosher
nomenclature.
too. I think.
Is dwarf kosher?
Yeah,
But dwarf
dwarf
doesn't
is pretty
describe all
common.
little people.
Hi-ho,
Yeah, that's true.
hi-ho, and off the work we go.
They
Point is-
don't enjoy that at all.
She unmatched me really quick.
If they have a good
That's
sense
our
of humor, they do.
slavery.
Yeah.
Those Oompa Loompas weren't paid to make candy from sunup to sundown.
You're right though. They weren't. Shit, I don't know
Little
if I'm
stubby fingers worked to the bone.
Yeah. Well, what ended up happening with the
He unmatched
little
with me
person?
immediately. I don't know why. Like, you know how it gives you a notification that we matched? I went to go message her and it was unmatched. And I was like, was I a mistake here? Did she have second guesses? Did she see me and was like, this guy would totally be doing this just for the laughs? Because I was.
Was she like, oh, not even 6'2"? And then
Yeah,
Tipped
she's
out.
6 foot even. I can't hang out with that. But yeah,
Oh,
no.
what-
You got
it was a
unma-
really anticlimactic one.
Are you telling us you got unmatched by a midget?
I did. I don't know if I'm proud
Fuck!
or sad about that. You know?
Man, that would feel like a punch in the gut. Does it make me a bigot that I wouldn't go out with a midget?
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
A little
I-
bigoted.
No.
Look, I'm not. No, go out is kind of vague. I don't mean that you date this lady for weeks at a time. You hook up with her once, maybe twice. If
I can
things
date
go
her
well.
for a week. That's months in midget time.
That's true. That's true. Because of the time dilation.
They only live to be 12 to 14. It's a little
That's
known
true.
fact.
Yeah,
That's
Taylor, if you think about how the
like
Earth
those
rotates,
are funny
Taylor's
as
in a
shit.
higher orbit. He ages
Yeah.
That's
faster.
true.
I think.
Time goes.
They're closer to the surface of
An
the Earth.
anatomic clock, or we know that's science right there.
Another midget fact: when you drop them, they always land on their feet. They've got cat-like, inner ears.
All right. So
Just
what
like
about
5'11" wouldn't
amputees?
be an issue.
Amputees. There's a really attractive amputee model who poses on Twitter and shit. Not that kind of amputee. I don't think I could. I don't think I could have sex with somebody without legs.
Oh,
I'm
she
just
has
gonna be
I
no
honest.
think
legs.
I think you've got it backwards. It'd be much easier to have sex with someone without legs. They
Yeah.
cannot escape you.
I
They're
don't think
going
you guys
nowhere.
are open to the possibilities, right? Like
She-
forward cowgirl,
0.5
reverse cowgirl, forward, clockwise, counterclockwise. There are options here that normal women don't have.
Her maximum speed is 0.5 miles per hour. She ain't getting away.
She's not posing. She's trying to escape her captor.
Yeah. Like it's a picture, but if it were video, you'd see those little things kicking. They was kicking.
Man,
I
is
can't
it weird that the
believe
first
that.
thing I thought was like, I wonder what she swims like?
There's a subreddit for
Like a
this shit.
buoy. We played
What?
basketball against this team. Not me as a player, but like our team played, and I was watching the game again in high school, and they had a player with a flipper, and we had a group of fans called the Rude Crew who were like, their job was to like, get a little
Be
rowdy and be rude, make a lot of noise. They would bring noisemakers, bottles with beans in them and stuff, and shake them at like tense moments. They sneak an air horn in occasionally, stop the play of the game, on their own. They blow whistles. They started singing, "Flipper, flipper, faster than lightning," and it was the meanest thing I'd ever seen in real life up until that point. That it was dark. That was a dark moment.
That is pretty mean.
Yeah.
You have to be a young age to start a public chant about someone with a deformity to
Right.
their face.
Yeah.
To their
Yeah.
face.
All right, here's my high school girlfriend. I feel like I was hitting above my batting average with this girl, right?
Okay,
But the thing
yeah.
is, I locked her in like right after her braces came off, and she had just singed her hair making brownies, right? So
Yes.
this 9 was like a 6.5. Pulled her in, kept her
bought
for the
low.
next year. Yeah, right.
Hold on.
Now, what if this girl with the stinky pussy just needs a little smart mouth in there, or whatever it is you do with them, and you could buy
this work
low
in
and then
progress.
own high?
You're dipping your dick in Listerine every time you fuck her in hopes that it'll cure the whole scenario.
That's the kind of next level thinking this show needs.
That's what the reservoir tip
What
is
if
for.
she's only what if
Now
she
I
is
know.
Is Vagisil some sort of like I've never I don't have
Pretty
much
sure it's for
stinky
itchy,
pussy
scratchy
background.
pussy.
It's for a stretchy pussy, you say?
No, itchy scratch. Did you never see those commercials? It's like if you have like
I
a
don't see
like
commercials.
all right, no, I'm talking.
cunt
This is like,
problems?
for
are you
games.
soaping my pussy? Yes,
I'm
yeah,
absolutely
I'm totally
your pussy.
into it. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Leave?
Yes.
I can't believe
I have
you
your
beat
keys.
And your leg. It's in my bedroom. And it's your driving leg. Good luck. Yeah.
Can't get home with all righty over here in my bedroom.
Yeah. See,
Yo,
like,
hop back home, bitch.
So this is a weird segue. Okay, there's a music Discord that I frequent just to find new music. In that community, there is a transgendered person who doesn't actually. She doesn't really care how you refer to her, but she prefers she.
Uh-huh.
First probably week I was in there, she got drunk and just posted this is like a very public Discord, like 2,000 members, post a picture of her dick. And I'm just sitting there trying to find the song. And there's just a giant dick in my face. And I was like, okay, like, we've all been on the internet. Why are you posting somebody's dick? She was just like, nah, this is mine. Like, okay. Oh, Jesus. Is this like a thing? Is there like a higher trend of people who are transgender that have just colossal cocks? Is this like a weird confirmation bias? Or
We've been discovering that look, we discovered
We've
this
been discovering
years
by
ago.
Professor Kyle.
Years
He's
ago.
like, I've got papers, okay?
Kyle had the first paper published on this topic.
I always said like, hey, why wouldn't you just wear a full leather bodysuit from for a
Motorcycle
racing?
No,
yeah,
like a
who
gimp.
the fuck is gonna bite through that?
Oh, that would be such a funny scene. Imagine if everybody's putting on their leather suits,
Like they're
and like
gimps.
everybody steps out. You pan from character to character. They're all
They've got their
biker,
tassels and
biker, and then gimp with a zipper mouth. He's like, "What? You're like a bird."
That's true, right? Like
Hey.
the nipple chains and shit.
I'm there
like,
in full
ready.
Is there a
latex.
hole in
I
the
thought it would
ass?
work.
Like that.
You got a zipper crotch, like the whole nine. Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be
I'd love that.
great.
As long as you don't attack me from the asshole, I'm fine. There's a big port back there.
I don't see how the ball. The fuck is it called? I ruined my
Ball
joke.
gag.
The
Ball
ball
gag.
gag even helps you with the situation.
It's just fashionable. You know?
That's more in the spirit of it.
That's not in the do not say.
No, it's not. They should work on that do not say section.
All right.
Don't assume Kyle won't say it.
Please explicitly write out what he cannot say.
Just
You know
saying.
who wished they did that? 100% food.
You know, if you've got a crack in your sidewalk outside, add a little water, mix it up, and spackle it on in. Yeah, it goes on thick, doesn't it, Taylor? Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Very
they
thick.
didn't
Got a
appreciate
crack in
what
the
a good
porcelain in
job
your
we
toilet?
did for them.
This is all that's holding the foundation of my house together right now.
Those Canadian geese, if they're causing trouble, just sprinkle that out there. Kills them quick.
Oh,
Whatever
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
powder they have in there.
It's a
I'll tell
wasp deterrent.
Yeah, oh man, they did not.
I
We-
hope we're
we
not
were talking about
responsible for
100%.
them going out of business.
It's good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're doing some weight stuff now, Tucker, because you've always been a marathon man.
I'm a pool noodle, you know. I realize that doesn't go very far. You know, you walk by somebody on the street and they're like, that could not raise a family, but like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe down the line, like I can't carry two kids in my arms. So
That could not be.
Man, what a
That's good. That's a good one.
man. That's what you think people are thinking when they see you, or when
Yes.
they're thinking,
I'm the
Oh.
post. That kid had way too much estrogen in his diet. What's going on over there? Yeah.
you having anything but soy?
I love my Soylent.
Dude, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a little kid.
So just regular trash then?
That was well done. That was good.
When he said,
That was a funny one.
shut the fuck up, you're a little kid, and little kid
You're a
is
little
like,
kid.
it was great.
Ah.
Yeah, that
If
one
I'm
didn't
wings,
seem
I like
neat.
that one.
Yeah,
You don't
the
like
prior
the
one I would not like.
No.
The musical half of it is borderline, but re-showing my lowest low.
That's not as low as low.
Really? I think that's as low as low. What's lower?
When
I
he
mean,
lost a syndicate with M16s on Bog.
Yeah, keep laughing, faggot.
He said that to me.
Yeah.
I know. That's why.
Yeah. He was.
Oh, did he?
He did
I-
not
yeah.
treat me well. Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have any any emergency alcohol. What do you do when you get the shakes?
Just go to the LaCroix. Yeah, no, I don't have anything. I think Kyle's gonna drink us both under in this upcoming one.
He's been training.
I've been training hard.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
really gotta.
night and sometimes in the morning.
I do it 2-a-days, okay?
It really is, man.
You get
You know?
drunk, pass out, wake up, and I forge ahead again. You know?
Like
It's
it tastes like candy. It's a little gross. It's a little too sweet for me. It's like sweet cherry and almonds mixed. Like it smells like candy even. But this is only 28% alcohol by volume, which is 56 proof, of course. It's
I would. Why would you swish it?
because
Just
I want to
keep all
like
sticky.
fully taste it.
8% IPA lover. Then yeah, that's gonna be
That's who I am.
possible, and you'll feel
Shit.
like death warmed over the next morning.
Let me do an ad read. I know that I'm here representing Stitch Fix.
Don't do this. You're doing a good job.
What do
Do you want me to read it?
Dude, I used to live with Lithuanian guys, and they drank Lithuanian and Russian beers, and oftentimes they're 10 to 15% alcohol by volume, and they come in these like liter bottles, glass.
They're literally
bottles.
like, "This is your night. Here you
yeah,
go."
this is your night, and they would
It's
drink
fucked
2 or
up.
3 a night, and I was just super lightweight, and I remember my friend, taste it, Kyle. It tastes like caramel. Do you
Like
taste the caramel? And I'm just like, gluck, gluck, gluck. No, I taste bitter. I taste bitter and burn.
Tastes like I'm drinking bees.
And it became like a catchphrase around our apartment. Kyle, finish your beer. Ha 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 ha. Because I would never finish one. There would always be like a third of it left, and it had gotten all warm from like the ambient heat from my hand, like going through the bottle. And meanwhile, they'd be on their second one. Oh, those were terrible. I was not a fan of that.
Are you still
Do it
allowed
the
to
right
drink
way.
on Twitch, or is that gone?
But this is not Sharia law or whatever the fuck
I
it is.
don't know where I got that. I
Sharia.
thought that.
Yeah,
They
you can
disallowed it.
drink. I can say fuck my viewers. I hate them all. Like, there's nothing changed. The only thing that changed was they were clarifying that like you still can't be a douche. Like,
You can't show your feet, right?
you still can't show your bare feet.
Do we
I mean,
want
you
to talk about it?
can.
Do we want to talk about the thing that happened?
What happened? I'm super interested now.
The feet thing.
Yeah, you have to tell me because now I'm like invested.
Wings. So people are always trolling Wings, right? They're trying to get him to like slip up, fuck up, and they were like, Wings, show your feet. We want to see your lymphedema, which is apparently a swelling of his feet because he's.
So they know that he has a condition with his feet, and they're
Yeah.
expressing curiosity in it to get him to show them.
Bro, he whips out that foot, and it's not all sexy like mine is here. It's
Yeah,
it
you've got
clean?
some good mobility there. You've got some good
oh
foot
yeah,
mobility.
I call that pedexterity.
Yeah,
I'll go with
so-
this. We'll see where it goes. What's something embarrassing that you're willing to admit?
Man, see, now I have to separate my embarrassing moments from the ones I'm willing to admit.
Right?
I guarantee I have a.
I shit outdoors at the botanical gardens when I was 17 on a school field trip. There's a really nice botanical gardens here. And
That was just- All right, well done. This is it. This is the one.
so basically the tale was, I think I've told this on here before. If it was a long while ago. So we were on this field trip, and it was like me and, you're walking around. It wasn't very structured. It was kind of like, an end of the year kind of thing of like, just enjoy whatever shows and what's going on. Walk around with your friends, talk, chat, enjoy the pretty summer weather. And I was walking around with a bunch of my friends, and I was like, I just got that like gurgling in my stomach of like, oh man, I got to shit right now. Like I didn't get like the warm up, colon prod where it was like a little like, no, it was just straight like, I'm gonna shit my pants. I don't get this taken care of. And so like I saw one of those gazebos or whatever that usually has bathrooms in there, and I like clinched butt jog it over there, and they're both out of order. Both of them are out of order. They're like the doors, to the point that like the doors are open. Because if it was just out of order and the doors were closed and everything and it wasn't stuck open, I would have went in there and just dropped a shit and like left like an I'm sorry note to whoever would have had to clean that up. But I was like,
Written in
fuck.
shit.
And so like written in shit. And so I was running around like looking for somewhere, like desperately. Like there was no other gazebo, there was nothing. Like and this gurgling is happening. It's not like I can muscle it down. Like no, this is going to happen. And so I see a giant willow tree, where all of the willow branches are hanging down enough that it kind of provides you a curtain inside the willow tree. And so I was like, this is happening. This is going to happen right now. I'm going to shit my pants. I'm going to have shit running down my leg. And so I run into the cover of the willow, and I get right next to that tree, and I just fire out a shit as fast as I can. And then like after I've shit, I'm like, well, no, here's that. I was like, I don't have anything to wipe with because I don't carry toilet paper around. I'm not weird as I shit under a willow tree. And so shit there, and then like stepped out of my shoes, took my socks off, and then like put my sock over my hand and use that as a wiping apparatus, and then just like pull it inside out and toss that to the side. Use my other sock because it was a 2-sock wiper. And so then
A 2-sock wiper.
yeah,
Nice.
and so I take both of my socks, I just leave them there next to this pile of shit under a willow tree, put my shoes back on with no socks, and just walk out and then do the thing where I try and put my distance between myself and the crime, to where like I poke my head through the curtain, the nature's curtain, and I kind of like quick jog over somewhere else, and then try and reconvene with friends. Like, oh hey, you see that guy shitting under the willow tree? It looked a lot like me, huh? No, didn't say that, but yeah, that's something embarrassing. I'm willing to do. Some friends of mine were very into poop-related antics, and it was a snow day once, like earlier in high school, but one of us had our license, and his mom had like a Suburban or a Yukon, one of those big Tahoe kind of cars, and so we were all driving around in there, and this guy Drew was like, I gotta take a shit so bad, and people have been drinking and whatnot, and it was like, just do it out the window. And it wasn't like we were on a back country road somewhere, off the grid. We were on Highway 64, like a main highway here, Highway 40, I guess. And he stuck his ass out. He like was in the passenger seat in the front, like craned his ass out, like from the open window, like holding on to the luggage rack on the top to like stabilize himself.
I'm following.
And people are laughing, as he's about to poop, because you don't think about the physics of it. You're going at least 50 miles an hour, or probably closer to 40, given that it was a snow day. But you're going quick, 40, 50 miles an hour, and we imagine it's just going to be like a couple like like shits, and then onto the road.
Tap the side of the door, maybe.
Takes his big watery shit, and immediately the wind, when it was whipping by, just paints the side of this Yukon in shit. And my friend who was driving his mom's car was like, oh, fuck, dude, fuck. Oh, we gotta like go to car wash or something. Like, is it that bad? And she's like, it's not that bad. There's just some shit on the side. He's like, no, there's shit all over my mom's car. So that we pull off, clean it up, and.
With the pressure washer thing, the car wash?
With just a hose,
Okay.
while their parents weren't home yet. And so yeah, that ended up being a one-time thing. That friend who was driving that car really disliked his neighbors. He did not like his neighbors one bit. And those electrical boxes that are out in front of a house a lot of the time, like the green electrical box you see there? He, like, midnight or 1 a.m., I wasn't around for this, like, went over there with some of our other friends and just took a big steamy shit right on top of this electrical box. And overnight it froze. And so it was just frozen, partially solid, partially liquid shit on this electrical box. And he told me, yeah, and like 2 days later, I saw Mr. Johnson out there with this big broom getting it wet, trying to scrub the shit off. And like at the time, I'm like, that's hilarious. And, I'm a kid too, but this is pretty fucked, man. Like you shouldn't be purposefully shitting on other people's property. But
so when I was in like, I want to say the third, maybe the fourth grade, my mom was teaching a special ed class. And at the time, I had no social awareness. So when she said that she was taking the special ed students to the Tennessee Aquarium, I was like, can I fucking go? And she's like, I guess, let's ask your teacher if you can get out of class today. And so she goes to my third grade teacher. She's like, hey, can I go on the field trip? I said, sure. Yeah, I guess, have fun at the aquarium. So I go on the aquarium with a busload of retarded children. On the way back, first we stop to eat lunch, right? We pull off the road at like a rest stop. We choose to eat lunch in the area where everyone walks their dogs. So every retard stepped in dog shit and gets back on the bus. Now the bus smells like dog shit. But that's not the end of the story, because Tiffany Jones, yes, I remember Tiffany, shit herself about a quarter of the way back to Georgia. It's a 3.5-hour drive. We had the teachers had to be like, everyone, just lower your windows down. Just lower all of the windows down on the bus. The smell will go. It didn't.
No, it doesn't. That's not how it works.
It was just
the smell will go
it
in
around.
4 weeks.
There's still poop here.
It was just whipping the smell of Tiffany Jones' shit-filled drawers throughout our nostrils, all over the bus. Like you'd be like, All right. I think all I smell is dog shit now. No, that's Tiffany. No, that's Tiffany. Oh God. Oh, what did she eat? Oh God. Oh,
Oh, poor Tiffany.
the whole
It was
way
like
back.
gummy bears and Funyuns. Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
her.
yeah, that's a retard diet. for
And you
sure.
know what? What else? She was retarded, and so I assume she still is, barring a remarkable recovery. And so she didn't just take enough of a shit to relieve the pressure to make it to a bathroom. When it was coming out, she dumped the whole payload onto the
Yep.
floor of that Georgia State bus.
Absolutely. She was like all or nothing, baby. That's how I shit. Just let it fly. And she filled her shorts up. I didn't see them, but I guarantee those shorts were brown. There was drippings coming down her thighs. Like it was a fucking disaster. I'll never forget that smell. I feel like one of those Vietnam vets who had to hide in a pile of corpses. I had to
It was
lay
just
there for hours while the gooks came by and bayoneted the bodies. And I just laid there in my friend's guts and bile. That's how I feel driving back from Tennessee Aquarium to Georgia with Tiffany Jones' shit-filled pants a couple of rows up from me. I've seen
Oh, a
some
couple rows up. Even worse, you're in the back.
Oh,
lot.
yeah, right?
back. Yeah,
And because
cool.
every single window is open, it's just made a cyclone of shit wind.
Yeah, it's whipping around. Yeah.
That's
Oh, my
hilarious.
stomach hurts.
Well, you know what?
Oh, I
The
love poop stories.
embarrassing thing you're willing to admit topic did turn into something. I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Well, that drinking episode in a couple weeks, that'll be fun.
No, it won't. It'll be terrible.
Oh, it'll be fun for the
It'll be
listeners.
great. It'll be
Yes,
good.
for them.
And not for you vomiting on the cold floor afterward.
Oh my
It's,
god.
the cold floor is comforting, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing like hugging the porcelain throne and feeling really good about that cold toilet seat.
Running
He
man
showed
again
up
and again.
on some sort of flying contraption. He must be a cool guy. He asked me if I wanted to go tandem, but he wants me to face him. I don't know.
No, don't face me. It's better the other way. I was gonna ask Tucker to pimp his social media, but he's not here.
It is.
Well, fuck him.
Follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, follow
Yeah,
Tucker
it's
on.
I Jericho II on Twitter, and it's also that on YouTube.
And hey, if you're a young lady, Jericho needs some pussy.
Yes, he does, and we,
And
to
if
the
you're a
dozen
young
women out
man,
there,
and if you're a young man who's passable, Jericho needs some pussy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna aim that at me. I was just like, here it comes, here it comes. All right, PKA episode 380.